Well, it fucks everything up. Because it would put Notre Dame at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
You just can't do that. What they need to get right is better security. This is the world we live in now. That these type of events are going to attract people who want attention, and attention by doing very bad things. What is this shit that's going on that makes somebody serving in the military
Like
attack your country? What the fuck is going on that's causing that? You know, he didn't just drive there to kill himself. His intention was to kill other people.
Yeah.
And for them not to just talk honestly about that is just dumb. Guns are not the problem.
Yeah.
The vehicle is not the problem.
Yeah.
Security is the problem, or the lack of security.
Yeah.
They're not playing sides. They don't care. They just want chaos. And in this country, our rights come first before everything. We never should give our rights up for anything like that, you know? I hate to say it, but it's, you know, I'm at the same place I've been for a long time. I love my country. I hate my government. And right now, I do not trust them. This is not really, it's not being covered. Amazingly enough, it's not being covered. Teachers in New Jersey, to be certified, will no longer have to pass a basic reading, writing, and math test. Not advanced, but a basic test. Our education sucks in this country because of the teachers' unions. If you're going to be a teacher, isn't the main reason because you want to be around and teach and be able to mold kids? You can't say that you care about kids because the union that represents you doesn't care about kids at all. If you don't have to pass a basic exam, then why do you have to go to college at all to be a teacher? And that is the problem in our country, is the standard is being lowered for everything, including just being a decent fucking human being. Doesn't end well unless it ends. Can't just report the fucking obvious.
I don't care what a critic got to say, I got them picking up the pieces. That me, you really playing with your life, I'm about to come and
Just
run
a
it all back.
motherfucking jump. Just go. Let's fucking go. This is the Outlaw Apostle Podcast. I'm your host, Troy Neff. I'm the fucking guy. Finally, the fucking guy got a win today. And my other fucking guy over there is behind all the controls and making this look great. Chase, how are you, brother?
I'm doing pretty good, man. How are you?
Well, better, man. I was giving some of that big money I had back, man, but I'm doing better now that my number 7 Notre Dame took care of business with number 2 Georgia.
Hell yeah.
Now, look, it was their backup quarterback. It wasn't Carson Beck. But based on the way he played in the last game that he played in, I was more worried about him than Beck, really.
Really?
Yeah, I really was. Yeah, I thought so. He, I don't know. I wouldn't.
Stockton.
I wouldn't really blame him for this game.
Yeah.
It was Notre Dame's defense, even though we had, one of our big line defensive tackles out. Those guys can come, man, at you. They are fast. And they didn't capitalize on all the turnovers. And this wasn't just Georgia handing, making mistakes. No. Notre Dame creates turnovers. And they created those turnovers with hits, like hard hits, where they popped them.
Didn't someone get injured towards the end of the game? Or they walked out of the field?
I don't know. Like I didn't see that part. But ETN, the running back, whose brother plays in the NFL now, that was like his first, I think, fumble of the year. He never loses the ball.
What a game to fumble.
But that helmet was put right on that ball and popped that thing out, man. So I expected even more, but they didn't capitalize. But Hey, at least we know Notre Dame's kicker, and Notre Dame's kicking throughout the regular season was not great. It was one of the worst in college football.
Really?
Yeah. And so this guy made 3 of them over 40. We'll take that after all the shit field goals we've been saying.
The whole Texas ASU situation.
Oh, don't get me started.
You know
on
what
that,
is
dude.
hilarious?
I am so
about that
angry about that. That's pissed me off.
Because in the episode we record right before the game started, you were going on about how everyone's kicking the ball off the post. Yeah. And what happens in the game? Yeah. Right off that post. Dude. It was hilarious. What's going on in football kickers, man?
I don't know. Dawn was supposed to research it. So if she does, I will share it with the audience.
But you were saying, sorry.
Yeah, that was really shitty. You know, you got to be bigger than penalties. You got to be bigger than mistakes and bad calls and referees. But when it's so obvious and it comes at the end of the game and it's a game-changing call, the no targeting call, when they review it, and it's like nobody can look at that video and say that it's not targeting.
Yeah.
Now, the other one was very close, which was reversed, which would have been ASU called for targeting on them, but he clearly hit the guy across the chest.
Yeah.
Clearly. At first it looked like it was, but then when you see the replay, it wasn't, and they made the right call. I don't know if it has an effect on it or not, but when Georgia had the ball prior to ASU getting the ball and that targeting play, Georgia was called for like 2 or 3, like, I don't know if it was illegal formation or just a bunch of stupid shit. Oh my God. Like, there's been Texas, so much of that. Yeah, Texas.
Yeah.
Who did I say?
Georgia.
I said Georgia. No, Texas.
Okay, I was about to say, I think I watched the wrong
Texas.
game.
I'm sorry. No, glad you corrected me.
You know, I'm glad that we talk a lot more. I was talking to my friend on the way home. I was like, I'm understanding the whole college football thing now a little bit more.
Yeah.
So.
No, Texas. They bunch of calls against them.
Yeah, especially towards the end of the game.
Yes. And then, but I don't know if they felt bad about it. I don't know, but it was so obvious, the targeting. And, you know, that meant 4th down and them punting the ball versus if it's called targeting, it's now 1st down and there's so little time. But there's enough time for ASU to get into field goal position and potentially to have a chance and it not go into overtime.
Yep.
Now, thankfully, you know, they had an opportunity in overtime and they, you know, didn't close the deal. Unfortunately. But it never should have got there. It's just a shitty way to lose, especially for a team like ASU that really laid it all out there, who played better than Texas in the first half, but just, again, weren't able to get it in the end zone. Yeah. They would get close and then they wouldn't get it in. But in the second half, Scatibo, he took over the game. I mean, you got a guy who was 140 yards rushing, 80, 90 yards receiving, and then the 42 yards passing. I mean, that pass he made, like really, like he did everything but throw the ball and catch it himself. Okay. And there were actually people that commented on a group that a Facebook post or group that weren't happy because, you know, they weren't the winning team, but he actually got the offensive player of the game. He was literally the best offensive player on the field. And he did actually, you know, he was just outside those 4 guys for the Heisman Trophy, right? Just outside those guys, you know. He didn't get invited to New York. But if you take a look at all the top guys, who played the best game after the Heisman Award was given?
Oh, easily.
Him.
Easily.
It's
Not even debatable.
It's not debatable.
I
It's
would agree
like
with that.
it's not even close.
Yeah.
Hunter played a decent game, but what Scatibo did,
Compared.
he put that team on his back, and somebody was like downing him because that he was out of the game for a minute because he was throwing up on the sideline.
It happens.
Dude, that was probably because they're not going to tell us that they probably know now. He probably should have been pulled from the game
Yeah.
because he had a concussion. Yeah, because I do agree with that. That's like the signs of
a concussion.
concussion, and that he just slowed down at the end. But he was able to come through once the whistle blew or once the ball was hiked and have a little push. But that dude was exhausted, just exhausted. He was running on pure adrenaline.
Yeah.
And people make the stupidest comments. It's like, get the fuck out of here. Just tell me again how you don't know anything about football. And this kid, what he did, even better, because he did it against Texas. Ashton Genty had a chance to prove himself against a bigger school at Penn State. And I think it was a little bit of the play calling, personally.
Okay.
But he didn't get the job done. Not like Cam did. Cam got the job done. And some people don't like that he was running his mouth before the game. Well, you know what? I love guys that run their mouth and then fucking deliver, which he fucking did. He delivered the goods. So that was great. But I'm so excited. I've been to 2 national championship games. Here's my mini Notre Dame helmet. But I've been to 2 national championship games. The first national championship game I went to was the Fiesta Bowl.
Okay.
And was, it was part of the whole start of me loving Arizona.
Okay.
And that was the University of Miami and Ohio State. And that's when Tressel was the coach. They used to refer to him as the vest. Because he would wear this red vest.
Nice.
But he was, he'd wear a tie on the sideline and his vest. He was very professional, very cool. And Ohio State had many great teams that didn't quite deliver. So that was like huge for Ohio State. And, then they won again. I think it was 2014. So, I mean, it was really good.
Okay.
But that was 2002. That's the first time national championship game. And I think I only paid $100 or $150 for the ticket, dude. Because there was a group of us, and the person who put it all together, like they pieced tickets together from a bunch of different places, and we were given some tickets, and we all just kind of threw money in. But it was great. It was a great experience. The second national championship game I went to was my daughter was raised a Notre Dame fan. Okay. As I converted from the Buckeyes to Notre Dame in 1990. I've told that story. And but she went to Alabama and graduated from Alabama. But she grew up a Notre Dame fan. She absolutely loves football, but she wanted the warmth. She wanted the South. She's a big Tim Tebow fan. But it actually came down between, I think she was interested in Florida, but it came down to between Alabama and LSU. She chose Alabama because of the campus, where LSU's campus is kind of spread around the city a little bit,
like in Phoenix here.
Yeah, but it was so good. The Alabama campus is phenomenal. So, that's when I was going through a divorce, things were difficult. And so let's go to the national championship game. She had a split jersey made, totally cool as fuck, half Notre Dame, half Alabama. And we go to the game. It was in Miami. We ate at Fountain Blue.
Fountain Blue.
Oh,
that sounds
yeah.
fancy as hell.
Dude, they just opened a Fountain Blue this past year in Las Vegas. Hotel. Yeah.
All right.
At the time, that was like my most expensive steak ever.
Okay.
I think it was like almost $40 an ounce. Yeah, at Fountain Blue. That it was like, I don't know, $500, well, which is typical for me now, but back then,
yeah, it was.
you know, it wasn't that typical. And I got a deal on a Corvette. I actually had a Corvette
Hell yeah.
that I rented because I actually flew into Fort Myers and drove down to Miami from Fort Myers.
Okay, and you had the Corvette all the
And
way
I
down?
had the Corvette all the way down.
Nice.
And I got to have the rented Corvette. You know how I always like to be parked with the cool shit. And I don't remember what I tipped, but they kept my Corvette around the cool cars,
Hell
the
yeah.
Lambos and
Fuck
shit. Yeah. And it was just a great hotel, great time. And I got a great deal on a room. It wasn't actually a room. At the top of the hotel, there were like condominiums.
Okay.
And I rented this condo, and it was huge.
So it's like at the
It-
very
it-
top of the
yeah.
floors and everything. You
Yeah,
got
they
a
had
nice little
everything.
view.
Full kitchen,
Hell yeah.
everything. And like almost like 2 master bedrooms. You know, it was cool. It was
okay.
very
All right.
cool. The only bad thing was that Notre Dame was out of the game by the end of the first quarter.
End of the first.
End of the first. Alabama ran them out of
Oof.
the building pretty much. You know, a couple things didn't go Notre Dame's way early that could have helped. And when they didn't, it was just over.
Yeah.
It was just over.
But
We had a great time.
Yeah.
And one of the most memorable things, I mean, me and my daughter still talk about it today. You know, it's
yeah.
like those are
That's
like
dope as fuck.
all-time memories
Do you think
for
she
us.
still has that jersey?
Oh, probably.
Yeah.
I can't imagine she got rid of that. And I haven't messaged her yet, but I'm gonna message her right after the show. See if her and her husband want to go to the national
Hell yeah.
championship game. You want
Yo,
to meet us in
I'm
Atlanta?
so excited for you, man.
So we're
Hell
yeah. So I mean, they still have to beat Penn State,
Yeah, fuck Penn State.
Fuck Penn State. But I can cancel the room up to the 11th. And I just booked the Waldorf Astoria. You know, that's like the Four Seasons. It's like the Ritz-Carlton. It's
Top
one
of the
of the-
line. Yeah.
it's top. It's
Hell yeah.
very, very nice. So we'll be like, I think I have us going in on Saturday and out on Tuesday. The game's on Monday,
Okay. So you get
January
to
20th.
go January 20th. Oh.
Yep.
The year just started, and
We're already
it's
flying by.
creeping.
We're already flying by.
Oh man.
And if the Steelers or Lions, either one of those two makes the
Ooh.
Super Bowl, I was already telling Don, we're going to the Super Bowl.
I can definitely see the Lions heading the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, and now that'll be in New Orleans, and we'll get to talking about New Orleans in just a minute.
Second, yeah.
Yeah. I can't believe it. I'm so excited. I couldn't wait to message Chase and tell him we crossed 300. We have over, I think last time I checked, we were at 302 subscribers. So like, I've been trying. I've been pulling you motherfuckers out wherever I can. 303?
Yeah.
Is that what it said?
303, yeah.
303. We will take it. We will take it. We crossed 300. You know, now I want to cross 350. Then I want to cross 400. And really, my big goal in my head, I'm thinking 500.
500? I was thinking 1,000, to be honest with you.
Well, yeah, but I want you to get to 1,000. I got to get to 500. It's you know, let's celebrate the little victories.
Yeah,
we
I'm
should
okay.
all celebrate the
yeah.
little victories on the way to the big score.
Hell
Okay, that's what we're gonna do, and couldn't do it without you, and appreciate that. And that's our focus, is growing this show, making content that interests me, and hopefully I find enough of you out there that identify with me that you enjoy what we do. But if you are watching this right now and you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and get one more. Get me one more. God bless. I'm the Outlaw Apostle. I'm the fucking guy. And thank God that whoever that bitch is that's the attorney general down there in Louisiana didn't get
Postpone
her
the game
way
again, yeah.
and wanted to postpone the game
That would've been
played today until Friday. Well, it fucks everything up because it would put Notre Dame at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
You know, because
Less rest days and stuff
you
like
can't
that.
change all these other dates. You just can't do that. What they need to get right is better security. And it seems like the security wasn't that great
Yeah.
in New Orleans.
Yeah.
That these type of events, this is the world we live in now, that these type of events are going to attract people who want attention, and attention by doing very bad things that can potentially hurt tens or even hundreds of people. I mean, that was a lot of people.
It was a lot of people.
It was a lot of people.
Way too many people.
They have to, I mean, you know this, right? So whatever has to be done security-wise needs to be done. And a stupid, crappy wooden barrier, you know, basically like, what did we used to call those? The horses thing that you...
Yeah,
like,
the things that just like pop open or whatever they are.
We'd use it. We'd put two of them together and you'd cut wood on them and, you know, like...
Oh, like a table saw.
Kind of like that.
Yeah.
But it's like, are you kidding me? Like that?
A gust of wind blows it over. Yeah.
No, you need those big concrete things.
Yeah.
That...
We have them here all over the place.
Dude. And not the narrow ones either.
No,
I'm talking the big,
the
giant cubes that you bring in and you use a forklift to send them and you just set them and block it. And maybe you leave a gap big enough to walk through maybe.
Yeah.
But nothing else like where they just literally can't get through.
It was, I don't know if we want to get into it right away, but like watching that video, the way he just turned casually, like he was just taking a right hand turn, like it was like a natural right turn. Like it was so easy for him. It was ridiculous.
And he went right by the cops on that right hand turn you're talking about.
So crazy. Like
they have all kinds of video.
Oh my
of it,
God. The video has been driving me crazy. Like everything that's been
No,
coming
we
up.
can talk about that now because it's all connected. The football and of course what we're talking about is the terrorist attacks that happened.
Also not a terrorist attack.
Yeah. The terrorist attacks in both New Orleans and Las Vegas. And I guess I could have talked about it yesterday because we recorded yesterday. But because this is actually, again, you know, when we post things is a little bit delayed. We're recording this actually on January 2nd. So you guys kind of have an idea of what we're doing and talking about and the timeline that we're in.
Yeah.
It's just so frustrating. The FBI to listen to that one, I wish I knew her name, but I didn't write it down. The chick that kind of talked at the press conference from the FBI, she was horrible. Like, she was horrible. And that's why we don't trust them. We're talking about IEDs. We're talking, I mean, how anyone could not think that it's not a terrorist attack.
I don't know. What else are you going to call it? What else are you going to call it? Like, that gets me so frustrated. Like, that's so ridiculous that 1 second they were saying terrorist attack and the other, they turn around, they're like, oh, we changed our minds.
Yeah, not a terrorist attack. And then it really is a terrorist attack. I mean, what it's designed to do is create fear.
Yeah,
that's it.
Unfortunately.
Like I talked to a guy at the gym today and he had a couple buddies that were going to the game, but they couldn't stay an extra day because they were coming back. So they couldn't stay an extra day and they could hardly give away their tickets. I mean, like $25 kind of thing. Tickets people are paying, you know, $300 to $1,000 for.
And not only that, like you mentioned before, the travel costs and all the extra stuff.
Yeah.
Like there's, like it's just, God, it's so stupid.
It's crazy, but to just the way that she talked gave you zero confidence at all. And then, you know, are the two connected? Well, we don't know yet. They haven't said whether there's a real chance whether or not they knew each other, right?
That's what they're saying. They're saying
now it is a big base and there is a 5-year age difference, But the one guy's been in 20 years and was still in. You know, he was just on leave from Germany. So he's still, and then that's just weird. What is this shit that's going on that makes somebody serving in the military
Like, take a full
attack
180.
your country? What the fuck is going on that's causing that?
I honestly like.
How are they being influenced? You know,
Well, that's the biggest thing that's going around right now is that the whole ISIS thing, right? Or the
yeah, and I don't know if I believe that.
it's hard to believe, honestly.
I mean, ISIS might want to take credit for it. They're like,
I'm
we'll
sure
take
they-
credit
yeah,
for
I'm
it if
sure
you're
they'll
going to
take it
give
right
it to
away.
us. Yeah, we're mighty ISIS. But really? Really? ISIS? When's the last time you heard ISIS mentioned?
back when Osama died.
Well, back when Trump was president,
I guess
a-
I guess I did come up with one.
and he pretty much wiped them out.
Yeah.
Right? That we haven't really heard a lot about ISIS in years. Now all of a sudden they're this big of a threat again? ISIS? I don't know. I'm not buying it.
It's hard to buy. It really is. It's,
Now what's not cool
what's up?
is, again, anybody who is attacking Muslims or people of the Muslim faith, you need to fucking knock it off. That is not a thing, okay? But what's also not cool is the mosque that the one went to sending out an email to its members saying that if you are contacted by the FBI, don't talk to them. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's
not cool,
weird
dude.
at all.
That's not cool. Okay. Like, you're here. You're also an American. This is the thing. I mean, we have some crazy, crazy stuff going on right now. Some crazy stuff related to the Palestinians and a march in New York, and
It's everyone's. I mean, you were talking about the riots. I mean, maybe it's not necessarily about the whole Trump
Well,
situation, but there's a lot of
dude,
riots
this is
going on
all
about
connected.
a lot of stuff.
it's all connected. And you just have to go on X
yeah, honestly though,
and
best
see
news
how
place ever.
and see how crazy people are right
Fucking
now and the
crazy.
stupid shit they're saying and believe about the election. It's the nuttiest stuff. It makes Republicans look sane 4 years ago.
Oh,
Actually,
yeah.
this is like
honestly,
really,
though.
really crazy.
Like realistic, yeah. It's so, yeah.
And it's kind of, I mean, you have the Cybertruck. Oh, the other connection was the app used to rent these cars.
I
Yeah.
must have missed that.
Okay. So they rented these cars, and you rent these cars through an app. Think of Verbo,
Okay.
where you're renting somebody's house. With this app, you're is it True something? True Low? I don't remember the name of it off
Okay.
the top of my head. But the app that's used to rent that rented both the truck in New Orleans and the Cybertruck
Yeah.
in Vegas were both obtained through this app where you're renting somebody else's vehicle.
Yeah.
You're renting their real vehicle.
Yeah.
You're not renting it from
Like a rent-a-car
place.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what it was.
Huh.
So they both did that. There was that connection. There was the military connection. There was the base connection, which isn't a huge connection because, it's such a big
Yeah.
base and a lot of guys go through there, but
But
still.
yeah, come on.
And then you have one, and now the sheriff in Vegas is calling I'd call him almost a suicide bomber.
Did he
And the
die?
one in Vegas.
Did
Huh?
he die in the bomb?
He died. Well, actually, he killed himself before the bomb went off.
I didn't. So I read more into the New Orleans than I did.
Yeah. The Vegas one. Yeah. And did you hear that the Cybertruck
It didn't do anything.
It really funneled it straight up.
Yeah.
And because of that, like any other vehicle, they probably would have blown out windows and
Completely.
stuff from the hotel.
Yeah.
There was no damage to the hotel like that because it basically went straight up. The truck actually contained it.
Yeah.
Which this asshole didn't know was going to happen.
It's
I mean, to think that, he didn't just drive there to kill himself. His intention was to kill other people.
Yeah.
And for them not to just talk honestly about that is just dumb. Some shit is just so fucking obvious that let's just talk and share the obvious that somehow these are connected. If the person is doing this at the Trump Hotel in an Elon Musk created vehicle, electric vehicle, and those two are like this now, if that's not a message,
yeah.
then what is?
Yeah.
Like I can read between the fucking lines.
it's
Can
kind of
nobody-
hard not to. Like it's like
Right?
it's right in front of our faces. It's like quite literally right in front of our faces.
You know what else is crazy is I don't know if it was gasoline or camping fuel or whatever they're talking about, but I thought there was gas cans.
Yeah, I
it
think there was
just
a bunch
camping
of like random like fireworks and a bunch of dumb shit in there.
fuel. Yeah, but and IEDs.
And yeah.
But think about it.
That's all the damage it did, by the way.
He's carrying around gas cans in an electric vehicle.
That's I didn't think about that. That's kind of funny.
It is kind of funny.
It's kind of funny.
Like, geez, really?
Did you see that Elon tweeted this picture?
Can I get a discount next time? Will it be cheaper for me to stay at the Trump Hotel next time we
Because of the
go?
damage?
Well, just because people
The
might
threats
not
or
want to
whatever.
stay there.
Yeah. No, but did you see that Elon tweeted a picture of this and was like, like, oh yeah, you try to do all this dumb stuff, but the Cybertruck is too good. Like,
Hey,
my friend.
and how do people feel about? Excuse me. How do people feel about that? If you have one of those vehicles, it's basically watching you all the time.
Yeah.
They have video of him at the charging stations, driving it from Colorado to Vegas. And then I think in the car, different times that supposedly they don't pull it up unless something bad
Like
happens
illegal
or
or
something,
whatever.
Accident or whatever. But
But it's recording.
it's basically recording you the whole time.
Oh yeah.
Kind of thing.
Well, because I think it's like the whole like manual driving thing, right? Like they want to make sure that you're holding onto the driving like wheel and stuff like that.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because if you're not paying attention, they're going to make you drive the vehicle.
Yeah. Well, there was a whole thing going on where people were like falling asleep while driving and stuff like that and causing accidents. So that's why they were like, yeah, we're going to change that a little bit.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
Yeah. Great idea, in my opinion.
Yeah. But this is definitely, and this, honestly, I think it's just the beginning. This is just the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to see more. We're going to see more of these things happening in the next month between now and the end of January. Maybe
A little bit
people
afterwards, maybe.
will chill out sometime after the inauguration.
I can't see that happening, unfortunately. Especially with everything going
I don't
on
know.
and the way.
But I definitely see if they're doing this now, you're telling me they're not going to try a disruption on Inauguration Day?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Or
Because it's a public thing, right?
January 6th?
They wouldn't be that petty.
They are.
They
Did
really
you
are.
have
They
you
really
read
are, though.
that? They are.
They really are. Though.
They are that petty.
Oh.
And it's almost like, well, they did it. That's
Yeah, they did it first.
They did it first. Yeah.
God damn.
But-
4 days from now, we'll see.
I want to see that meltdown that day. I definitely want to see that meltdown.
People, man. No,
It's
but
a lot of crazy stuff. And recently, in the last couple of weeks, I think there's been a couple incidents abroad in Europe
yes.
where people have taken cars and driven them into crowds.
Yep.
So
It's not happening just in the U.S. It's happening all around the world.
yeah, and the only thing or my observation about that is, I guess there were a couple of semi-automatic rifles in the Cybertruck on the floor of the truck, but I believe he used the pistol to kill himself. And the other guy in New Orleans got out of the vehicle and started shooting at people. I don't know what kind of gun he used to do that, but he was then killed. And you probably know you're going to get killed, right?
You're running. He killed 14 people and dozens were injured.
Yeah.
I mean,
But and how many of those were killed? I don't know how many were killed by the vehicle and how many were killed from his gunfire.
I don't know. Maybe I can.
But my only point is, we probably need new vehicle laws, new car laws, right?
Something's gonna have to change.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that tongue in cheek because guns are not the problem.
Yeah.
The vehicle is not the problem.
Yeah.
Security is the problem, or the lack of security with the risks that we have today.
Especially within the past few months,
and apparently this guy, I believe the New Orleans guy, posted videos on social media a couple hours prior to doing it, right?
Yeah.
Why, if when I post on social media and call somebody a bitch, and they can so quickly,
block you,
me and do all kinds of shit, how can they not analyze a video or have software that analyzes the video where somebody's making a threat and to be able to notify whoever needs to be notified before the fact?
Yes.
2 hours later.
Yes.
We're not talking about this being posted and then minutes later it happened. This is a couple of hours it happened. How is that possible that they weren't aware of this threat or somebody on his social media? They don't see it and report it. They can call their local police department and let them make the proper calls to the proper departments or wherever, to, try to find this guy, get a manhunt or whatever. That stuff needs to be better. If you can ban me for calling somebody a bitch, who really is a bitch, then you can figure out this kind of stuff with the technology that we have.
They act like they're not on us 24/8. Come on. Stop pretending that you have no idea what people are doing in their day-to-day lives. Come on, let's speed this up a little bit. Stop playing dumb and come on, let's get to because too many people are dying. There's too many accidents going on. It's just people are not gonna be able to live their lives normally because people are gonna be out in fear because every time there's a parade or something, there's gonna be a good amount of people that are gonna not want to go out anymore, not want to go visit, not want to go do anything.
Look at how afraid they got everybody over COVID. Yeah, this is
exactly.
Yeah, I mean, you're really gonna want to, like you said, you're gonna want to take your 5-year-old granddaughter to a parade?
Yeah,
maybe not.
No, it's just it's gonna affect so much more than just it's. I can't even put it into
Turo. That was the name of the app.
Turo.
Yeah, they released a statement. It's their statement was, hey, the FBI said Thursday morning that there is no definitive link between the two. What you can say is we are looking for a definitive link.
Yeah.
We do believe that there's the possibility of them being connected. There's a different way to phrase stuff that's actually way the fuck more truthful than the way they're framing it.
I feel like they're just trying to tiptoe around all these things, and like they're just afraid to be like confident or something.
Then don't say anything.
Exactly.
Then don't say anything.
Just skip the whole social media. They're so caught up in social media. Like, just skip over it.
If you're not capable of making a good statement, make no statement. It's not
a better
more,
statement than saying dumb shit that makes you look so stupid.
We'd rather take a step back a moment and put some of this together for you and give you information that is accurate and not speculative. See how good I am at this stuff?
Like that.
Like, I even use the word speculative.
I can't even pronounce that properly. My tongue does not want to say that right. Man, it's just...
Man, I don't even know, man.
It's just I don't know. It blows my mind, honestly. Like when I first walked in here and like came up, like all I could do was laugh because it's just so stupid. Like everything like that's coming up and like the whole like you mentioned that the flag was inside the truck, and then that's why. And then who decided to prop it back up on the back of the truck? Why not leave it in the truck out of public eye?
I don't know.
Like there's just so many questions.
I'm just not convinced about the whole ISIS thing.
It's so
and
weird.
I don't want to
make
up. I don't want to say crazy things like other people are doing, but I'm just not convinced. Like this guy, like they're thinking about ISIS. I just don't. Wow, the president's pretending he's president again. It's a true statement. You know, like, but think about that. We have nobody in charge, and this type of shit is going on. January 20th what date is the inauguration?
20th.
Is it the 20th?
Right.
The inauguration is the same day as the national championship game?
We've been saying 20th for like the past few weeks. So.
Have we? Okay. Well, I know I'm so confused. I got football on my brain.
Yeah, I'd rather have football right now than the whole fucking shit show of the fucking world that's going on right now. January 20th, yes, sir.
Okay. So the day of the inauguration, that night, is going to be the national championship game. That's two pretty big events.
Yes, two really big events, yeah.
I'm still going.
Where does this take place in I can't pronounce that word. My tongue won't let me. But will this be in a public setting, I assume? Or do you think
the inauguration?
Yes, or do you think this is going to be like a little like...
Oh, there will be the most security there's ever been for an inauguration, and that is by invite.
Yeah.
Yeah, like to get in a certain, like they may be able to be outside a certain perimeter and have speakers and stuff for people outside the perimeter, but there's going to be a perimeter that only
certain people can get close to,
and you have to, all of those people inside that perimeter would have to pass a background check. So it would have to happen in advance. So. Oh, dude, I don't think I ever shared this with you. So I was not a big Senator Dole fan.
Okay.
But I did campaign for him.
Okay.
And I used to have some pins and stuff. And then when he came, I got totally screwed. I did all this fucking work and never got a picture with him, and it pissed me off. That didn't help either. Because when he came through Ohio and had several stops, like my job was to be around the media.
Okay.
And it was so cool. Like we had these little pins and stuff. And, you know, I wore like a sport jacket and tie, and I had my glasses on. I mean, I kind of fake look like FBI. You know what I mean?
All right.
But that was kind of the job. But I had to pass a background check to do that. But that's before I got in all that other stupid trouble.
Gotcha.
So I passed at the time. I don't know if I'd pass a background check now. They'd be like, Mr. Neff, you...
It's It's been a good amount of time.
You're a known outlaw. Yes, I am. Yeah, there was a time it was not good to look up my name.
That's funny.
It's a true
That's funny.
story. But yeah, like it was a cool thing to do. But at the end, I don't know, our bus, because the media was taking a long time. Like we weren't able to get back to the airport in time before he left, so we didn't get pictures with him, and that just kind of sucked. Because I respected Senator Dole, but he just ran a shitty campaign.
Gotcha.
He just ran a shitty campaign. Was what it was. You know, I think it was he ran against Clinton, Bill Clinton.
Wow. That's an opponent and a half.
And Bill was he was a good campaigner, man. You gotta, no matter what people think of him, he was a good politician. Like that was his thing. He was very good at it. And come off much more middle of the road than Hillary. You know, Hillary's
Much.
Yeah, much. Yeah. And Bill actually was that president that you would have wanted to have.
Yeah.
If you're a beer drinker, you'd want to have a beer with, because
Yeah.
he'd tell
Oh, yeah.
stories or
That's
something.
the
He'd
best
be a
part.
fun dude.
Hell
You know what
yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
And she was the party pooper.
Oh, 100%.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
you know she
100%.
just kills a party.
Oh, yeah. Just walking into the room, just like, oh, everyone be
Ice.
quiet.
Ice, man. Like she could ice a party,
Oh,
and nobody
shit,
would.
man.
That would be horrible.
Yeah, no, yeah, that lady is.
So yeah, there's definitely going to be a shit ton of security, because there are going to be people. I don't know if it will turn violent, but there will definitely be protesters that day.
Yeah, I can definitely see that easily, easy. But I don't know. I don't know if it's just like my mind going like to a negative spot or whatever. But like we said, that's two really
It's
big
not, and we
events.
said before, it's not going to stop.
Exactly.
It's not going to stop.
And like it's getting this bad. Like how
It's
much worse is it
ramping.
gonna
It
get?
feels like it's ramping up.
Honestly though, it's like, what the fuck? That's like all I can like do is like step back and go, what the fuck is going on, man? Like we're just trying to enjoy our football, man. We're just trying to enjoy the football, have
Man,
a good
we're
time, man.
we're
Put
excited.
some parlays in.
The
you know, have a
future
good
is
time.
bright.
Yeah, we got all this shit going on. Like, bro, the year just started. The year
Yes.
just started. Oh no, but you know, after I, given some breathing room, and I think a little bit mid into like the early year, I think hopefully everything should calm down. I would hope so. I really would hope so.
Yeah. I just don't trust
Yeah,
those fuckers. And I don't trust the government right now. I absolutely, the people that Trump has picked, like Kash Patel and others, I'm all for them tearing up those agencies and
Do you think is that
getting things set right.
is that where you assume the connection is with the whole like FBI, like the whole government thing, and then like conspiracy hat, like you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. I know this. When you start talking about the CIA and disrupting things and, making accusations about Russia or Iran fucking around with our election, everybody knows. I've mentioned it here. We do that shit. We do that shit in other countries, and sure, they try to. I think a country like Russia is just trying. They're not playing sides. They don't care. They just want chaos. So they want the two sides going at each other.
Yeah.
They're not doing it to support Trump, or they weren't doing it to support Hillary or what. That's not a thing.
They're
It's
trying to benefit
more
for themselves.
chaos. And we do that in places. We try to disrupt things or
probably the number.
empower, student protesters in Iran and things like that. We have people on the ground trying to create instigations. So you telling me they're not capable of trying that shit here
Their own people.
on their own people?
I mean, I'm sure it'd be even easier because I mean, like I said, I mean, they act like they don't have eyes on every
Well,
single
but
person.
we know that they've communicated to the different various social media platforms
and told them
things.
to say hush hush on certain things.
And yeah, we know that they've done that. That's not debatable. And that kind of stuff makes a difference.
Yeah.
Those are very, very powerful organizations. Very deeply rooted. Very difficult to change. They're always going to protect themselves and each other. So we have to believe and trust that they are not ever putting their thumb on the scale for either side. And that's just not the evidence that we have right now.
Yeah.
And how they've literally abused FISA warrants. Now, I understand the importance of the FISA warrants and the original Patriot Act, which many, many people, and me included, supported. But they haven't lived up to the rules. You know what I'm saying? They haven't lived up to it. So I don't trust those motherfuckers.
Hell no.
Now. And even though that may be a weapon you'd like them to be able to have, they've shown that you can't trust them with it.
Yeah.
To not abuse it and violate people's constitutional rights. And in this country, our rights come first before everything. We never should give our rights up for anything like that, ever. We don't choose safety over our rights. Nah, that's not a thing, man, because then you don't deserve it. That's not a thing. So I hate to say it, but that's, I'm at the same place I've been for a long time.
Yeah.
I love my country. I hate my government. And right now I do not trust them, and I don't trust those agencies. And that's not to say everything they do isn't good or like in protecting people, but I don't, they've created the mistrust, and it's up to them to earn the trust back.
Yeah. By taking responsibility with this shit.
Well, and it doesn't do well when you have that, whoever that stupid
lady,
bitch
I couldn't find her fucking name.
And I don't care what that sounds like, because if it was a dude, I'd just say that dickhead or whatever. So I'm gonna disparage whoever it is. So it's not a misogynist thing. It's just me just calling out that person.
Yeah.
And she was horrible.
It was so stupid. Like, and the timing was so bad too. Like they couldn't have timed that so much worse. Like,
so like my feelings right now are like really, really mixed, and that's probably the reason that even though we recorded yesterday too, that I didn't talk about it yesterday.
I was really surprised you didn't like.
And I just didn't feel like enough was known other than it happened.
Yeah.
That the events happened.
Yeah.
And I wanted
more information.
More information first. And we're still behind on that. And
God knows what's
when they're giving us
tomorrow.
bad information or lying to us about it being a terrorist attack, it's like, good Lord, this is gonna be a disaster. So that's pretty much all I have on that. Well, obviously this will, I don't know. Will we keep talking about it? Because we didn't talk after the president was an assassination attempt on a presidential candidate.
Apparent.
It wasn't long before we weren't talking about that anymore. So how long is this going to be in the news cycle?
Yeah.
Honestly.
God. No, and that's like one of the worst parts about the whole like social media things. I think things are going by so quick that something happens and we don't even get time to like fully process it. Like something new's happening. Like it's just ridiculous. It really is ridiculous. Like something needs
And,
to
uh, and
change.
and are those distractions real, or are those distractions created to take our attention away from where it needs to be?
Yeah.
Ah,
Hey, flip a coin. We'll find out.
yeah, we will.
Oh,
All right. So I had something else that I saw today too that was just crazy, man. Crazy. And what really, so I tried to do a search on this because I didn't want to pull this story from like Fox News because people are such idiots when it comes to Fox News. But remember, I shared that one app with you.
oh yes.
Yeah. I shared that one app with you that's really super cool where it shows different stories and it also shows like how it was covered by media that's in the middle, media that's on the left, and media that's on the right. And it was the Straight Arrow News was what it was. And I could tell before even going to Straight Arrow News that when I tried to pull this story up, other than, something on Fox News, like I found it on MSN.com. MSN.com was sharing the story from the Daily Caller, which is conservative, just another conservative news
Gotcha.
site, right? So I'm like, yeah, this is not really, it's not being covered. Amazingly enough, it's not being covered by middle of the road or left-leaning media outlets. Why would that be? Shouldn't this be a story for everyone? And one of the reasons I liked this Straight Arrow News
Uh-huh.
is because I want to see what stories are being pushed on the left that show that are not really being covered on the right. So I'm looking for the opposite. I'm looking for, what am I not seeing on the typical sites that I would go to
Yeah.
that the left thinks are stories? And that's just something we all each individually have to do on our own, that we have to search that out. Stop getting caught in your fucking bubble, okay? Why would you not want to know what the other side is saying, for God's sakes?
Yeah. Or
Like,
how
that's just a
how they're
smart
describing something, or
It would
like,
just be a smart thing, even if you don't agree with it.
oh yeah.
See what their argument is.
And if it's stupid, you can sit there and
You
laugh
can
at
still,
them.
yeah, I do that all the time. Like all the time.
Yeah, no, but
But this story, like, this is just the craziest thing.
yeah.
That these are New Jersey teachers,
Yep.
and it just went into effect today
Today.
that teachers in New Jersey, to be certified, will no longer have to pass a basic reading, writing, and math test. Not advanced, but a basic test.
Yep.
Now, I don't know New Jersey's law.
Yeah.
So I don't know how, I guess my question is, do the kids have to pass basic reading, writing,
I guess not anymore.
and math tests to get their
I
diplomas?
think it's an attendance thing nowadays.
Maybe. I don't know. That's an honest question.
No, honestly though, like if you're not the people that are teaching the
But
material,
how
don't
can you
to pass
have
it.
but if they do, how can you require them to pass what you're not requiring the people teaching them to pass?
It makes no sense. Like they have that, like But I guess like the only
And there,
yeah,
what's the reason? This is the reason, like the one union
yeah.
or two unions, there's two different big teachers union, that they're just totally ruining education. Our education sucks in this country because of the teachers unions. And, you know, I place part of that blame on teachers.
For falling into the group.
For yes.
Yeah. For
Yeah.
following along.
Yeah. I don't. We have other laws. You can tell the unions to get fucked, and these teachers unions need to be told to get fucked. If you're going to be a teacher, isn't the main reason because you want to be around and teach and be able to mold kids?
Yeah.
Right? You really care about them?
The job title, right?
You're supposed to care about kids.
Yeah. You're a teacher. You teach.
I don't know. You can't say that you care about kids because the union that represents you doesn't care about kids.
Yeah.
At all. They do not care. And a powerful teachers union, the New Jersey Education Association, that's an offshoot of the NEA, National Education Association, right?
Okay.
Was a driving force behind the bill, calling the testing requirement an unnecessary barrier to entering the profession.
Unnecessary.
And what did I say? And something that I've shared that used to piss people off all the time, and I will repeat it over and over as long as I do a show and ever talk about education, is one of the easiest degrees to get, one of the easiest things to become and use your college education for is becoming a teacher.
Yep. And now they've even made it easier.
They now made it. Why would you, if you don't have to pass a basic exam, then why do you have to go to college at all to be a teacher?
That's a great question, Troy. You just need to start filling in the lines and they'll be all right.
How about that? I didn't know. They're not the only state. New York, California, Arizona.
Yikes.
That's just insane,
But
man.
The reason they're saying is because
now
of COVID.
it's COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, but New York did it in 2017. So that was before COVID. But I don't care. I don't care if there's a shortage. The standard is the standard. And that is the problem in our country is the standard is being lowered for everything, including just being a decent fucking human being. People aren't even decent fucking human beings anymore.
Yeah.
Like just attacking people they don't know, attacking somebody because they're successful. I mean,
no, the world is spiraling.
I'm just over it.
I know, trust me, I'm right there with you, Troy. Honestly, it's stupid. I mean, like we even talked about it like earlier in the year or last year when we were talking about the whole doctors or the graduates for nursing schools, the requirements getting lowered as well.
Not being required to take any classes on nutrition.
We're just gonna be like, oh yeah, surgeons, you don't need to know how to do that. Just watch a YouTube video, you'll be all right.
It'll be good.
Like, where are we heading as a country? Where are we heading?
We are spiraling out of control. And I don't know if I would say as a country, I'd say humanity is spiraling out of control.
Yeah. Honestly.
And see, that's the kind of stuff I don't even like to talk about, man. Because that kind of stuff, I can't have that stuff in my head, man. I can't.
I try to.
Because I can only control what I can control. And I want to focus on that shit, not on shit that's outside of my control.
Yep.
But then again, I don't want to not
miss the information and not know what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
it's a battle.
100%. And remember when, I first told you I was never really a big politics person for that reason. Like, it's just like, maybe it wasn't to the extreme that it is now, But like there was always just small things that just never really made sense to me, or it was just dumb and stuff like that. And again, I don't like having that mind space in my head because then I'm not trusting my government. How can I trust like all these, like it's just piling on top of one another, and it's just like, ugh. But again, you have to know this information to understand what is actually going on.
Well, if a college degree is so great,
Yeah.
then taking a few hours to pass a basic test that you expect your students to pass
Yeah.
shouldn't be all that fucking hard for you.
It really shouldn't.
It shouldn't.
Basic entry, like
Basic.
what?
We're talking basic. You're not. We're lowering we're taking the basic standard
Yeah.
away.
Yeah. There's gonna be no standard in a few months from now. Maybe in a few years from now, we're just like, you just pick whatever you want to go do and just do it.
You want your auto mechanic to be certified, don't you? Or prefer it, right?
Yes.
Kinda.
Yes.
Except no. Except you're just gonna let anybody wrench on that fucking shit.
Dead ass. Just gonna start pulling out bolts and stuff like that. We'll
It's
see
in here somewhere.
Oh man.
Yeah, this is my first time working on one of these.
But I'll figure it. I got you.
These new fandangled cars.
Oh shit. Oh man. Man.
I don't know. So, new year, and what we are going to do in our next show is, and maybe it might be a couple of podcasts that we're going to cover some things related to what I actually should be talking about.
Yeah,
and health and
I'm excited to get
wellness
back
and
into that.
fitness. And because this is the time of year where
Gyms get packed.
yeah, they get packed. And then the gym rats like me. Now I'm different, okay? But I get it because I see it on my feed. Because I have a lot of people that follow me are into fitness and stuff, and people complaining about the newbies. I don't complain about the newbies, for one. And in fact, when somebody mentioned that to me about new people and waiting for a machine and then watching a group of people do it wrong,
Go up to them.
you know what my answer was? Show them how to do it right. That was my answer.
Wow.
Hey,
not only do you get
I see you're new, and I'd love to see you hang around. Do you mind if I give you a couple tips?
Do you know how much that does for a person that's just starting off, that's confused, he has no idea what's going on, he's scared because he's in a new environment where everyone's much bigger than them, they know what they've been doing, and you have no idea. I've been in that spot before.
Yeah, absolutely.
The amount of support you can give someone by saying, hey, just do this, do it like this, or
very
let me help you out.
rarely have somebody been shitty back to me when I asked if they wanted assistance.
Yeah.
And occasionally they are. And if they're, I'm like, cool,
That's
do
fine.
your thing.
I'll turn around and go do something
I don't
else.
know shit. I'm just an old man that's done a lot of shit. I don't fucking know. But fine. But I really, I help people at all different levels.
Yeah.
But when I actually did personal training, which I do very, very little of now, because because none of you can afford me. That's why I don't do personal training. No, seriously. You're going to pay me $500 plus an hour? Because that's what I'd have to, for me, that's my time is worth between that 500 and 1,000 area now.
Okay.
It jumps around, but it's in that.
Yeah.
Like, why am I going to spend my time doing something to make $50 or even 75 when I could do something else related to the fitness area, do a consultation with somebody on the phone and make 500 or 1,000 in that hour? Like, why would I do that? Yeah, fuck that. Like, it just doesn't pay. There was a time when that $50 was important to me.
Yep.
That time is not here. It's past.
It has
Oh, it's past. But I can tell you, I liked putting together programs for people who didn't have a lot of money but needed to hire somebody. And I would put together an 8-session program, and I would discount it if they like from $300 to $200 even, if they would post about, take a picture every time we worked out, take a picture, post about on it on their social media.
Yeah.
You know, I'd get, because that's free
That's fair trade.
advertising. That's
Yeah.
I'm giving up a little something, you get a discount
100%.
and would do that. And I tried to do them as fast in a row as we could, so we could go through their whole workout that they were going to be doing twice and initially write it down, see what you're capable of. And then the second time go through it so you'd have it and you know how to do the different exercises. Now, and if you needed help later on down the road, you could engage with me again.
Yeah.
And in fact, I had somebody, this older woman that's in her 60s, very super nice woman who from back in Maumee, Ohio, actually messaged me, and I referred her to a friend of mine that does training back in Ohio now.
Okay.
And then she was asking me about, I think, one of the peptides. And so I gave her information on that. But that's somebody I helped
Out of the kindness.
4 years ago.
Yeah.
No, she paid me.
Oh,
She paid
gotcha.
me
Gotcha.
back
So
then
it
when
is
I was
someone
in-
back then. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I did a little bit more then, just because I also training somebody, not as many people, but it gave me social media content
Yeah.
to use too, and showing different things that I was showing someone. And I liked working with brand new people, even though I worked with people of all levels that have worked out before, really super experienced people. My favorite ones were the newbies.
They don't talk back.
Well, I really feel like what you were talking about, that I could have the greatest impact on them.
Oh yeah.
My big sister, Joni, I did this with her. She had started Weight Watchers at the time and said, you know, little brother, once I lose a little bit of this weight, I'd like to work out. And if you would help me. And I said, yes. And I said, but we're not waiting until you lose the weight. That's actually how you do it. They need to be done together.
Yeah.
We want to build muscle, make the whole weight loss thing work. And really, we want to start. And we did it. I treated her like I would treat anyone else, you know, like I gave her the whole spiel. We wrote it down. And so she was able to go in after we were done without me. And if you saw her working out, the only thing you were going to see was somebody that knew what the fuck they were doing.
Yep.
And that just gave her that level of confidence. And that's what they want. People, even though you shouldn't care what other people think, people do.
It's a natural human.
And especially when they're new going in there,
100%.
they don't want to look stupid. Well, I'm going to show you how not to look stupid. I'm going to give you a formula how to do this, how many reps to do, what weights to do, the machines, the whole thing. Just walk right through it.
Yeah. Getting a
And
summary
then
of the gym.
have that confidence. Like if somebody's looking at me, it's
'Cause
totally
I'm doing
cool.
Right. Yeah.
They're not seeing bullshit.
Yeah.
Like I know what I'm doing. And, you know, would ask my clients for tips. Like, hey,
You
but
never know what
again,
you can learn.
because what I used to see is just this. I would see people get a membership any time of the year. They would come in, and sometimes with a friend or, boyfriend, spouse, whatever.
Yeah.
And husbands and boyfriends showing you ladies how to do shit is the worst thing in the world. Okay. Yeah, he's horrible for you. Like, really. He's just pretending.
He's Jim Bro in it.
Yeah, this is not good. But, especially if it was two women together,
Okay.
that they don't really know what to do. They know how, most people have seen a dumbbell curl. So they're going to do a dumbbell curl. Or they might do some pull downs, but they're probably not really doing the pull downs
Right. Yeah.
really right.
Gotta tuck them in.
But you think, how hard is it to pull down? So they get on that machine. They'll do a couple, spend maybe 15, max 20 minutes, and then they just go over to the treadmill because how can you fuck up the treadmill? Well, you can.
You definitely can.
And I'm not going to get into how you can. But, well, okay, I will. If you have that thing jacked up like this,
Yeah. It's
and
not
you're
good for
holding
you.
the top of it leaning backwards, you're doing it wrong. You're defeating the whole purpose of the incline. Don't even incline it. Just get on the thing and fucking walk for 30 minutes, all right? Just stop it. But they thought they could get on the machine and not look totally stupid. They'll come back 2 or 3 more times max. That's it. And each time, any weights are getting less, more time on the treadmill until they just don't show up at all. And then sometimes, because their memberships are cheap, like at a Planet Fitness,
Yep.
they don't cancel it, which is exactly what Planet Fitness wants.
How they make the money.
That's how they make the money, is you continuing to pay and not coming. And that was like, now since COVID, they don't do the whole pizza thing that people used to
They
rip
don't do
them
the
from.
pizza anymore?
No, they haven't done the pizza thing for a long time because of the COVID shit.
Oh.
But that's
Another-
why they used to do it.
Yeah.
Is because it would make people feel like, you know, it's just $10 and I did get pizza. And then when people like fitness people would bitch about it, it's like, you don't have to take the pizza. Shut the fuck up. They don't make you take it. You don't have to take the Tootsie Roll or the fake Tootsie Rolls, whatever that brand was that was a Tootsie Roll wannabe. Okay. You don't have to take it. Or the bagels. There would be a bagel day too.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. And coffee. You don't have to, you don't want a bagel. Don't take a bagel.
You're not forced to grab the bagel.
Stop shitting on them because that they have, it's cheap, it's clean. What else do you need?
Yeah.
If you're not a power lifter, it'll take care of almost everybody's needs. But that's I loved it. I enjoyed it because to me, I'm taking someone who has a high likelihood of quitting, and they don't quit because I help them.
100%. No,
I totally love that.
Coming from someone that went to the gym like at first without anyone and no help, and it's scary. It's scary. I mean, like you're like a scrawny kid and you just walk in and there's everyone fucking all hooked up and stuff like that, and you're like, oh shit, I don't think I'm doing anything right. And then you have someone that's experienced, someone a little bit older that's been there for a while, come over and say, hey, you might want to fix this a little bit. Having someone like that in the gym on a regular basis made me want to keep going to the gym.
Yeah.
So
that's how it should be.
100%.
So what I do want to talk about is basic things people can do with their diet. Okay. Besides just going on a hardcore diet to work themselves into a lifestyle change.
Okay.
And those things will make a difference.
Okay.
And so for somebody who wants to lose some weight. So I got tips for that kind of thing. Maybe we'll even go through, most of the videos aren't even of me anymore. They're really of Dawn. You know, I take some videos for her. She uses on social media, but you know, form wise and stuff. And she's somebody that knows, you know, she's one of the more experienced people that I've worked with and trained with. And she's an actual training partner, you know, just like I trained with guys. We just use different weights. Yeah. And sometimes with the guys, we would use different weights. You use what weight you have.
Everyone's built
different. It was never a big deal to me to take weights off in between sets. That's your break. Your little 2-minute break
100%.
you're taking. So take the weights off. Who cares? Like, it's totally cool. Use and start what you have to be able to
I'll try to come up with a few questions that
that would be cool
some
too.
common questions that most people
or questions that you had when you started. You know, because I think that's another thing that really doesn't get talked about a lot is, you know, we're always focusing on weight loss. What about the hard gainer, the person that's more on the thin side and has trouble adding weight? And wants some definition by adding weight and muscle, but wants to do it the right way and not just
get fat.
Yeah. That's probably an area that doesn't get attention because we focus on weight loss more than
weight gain.
muscle gain. We're going to call it muscle gain.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be excited for that.
I think
I'll
that
get
would
some
be
questions
good.
for you. That
Yeah.
I definitely have quite a few. That
And the other thing is, I'm not, because I'm more in the camp of my friend Tony about the, new year, new you, the whole thing, where, is it important to you now, but it wasn't important to you 6 weeks ago? I get that.
Mhm.
But I've tempered that down for myself. And again, if the new year's what you've marked to make it happen, make it happen. I absolutely do believe you can do it any time of the year.
Yep.
And you should do it anytime.
Yep.
But I'm not going to shit on this time if it's possible that we can help get you on a road that's going to help you health and wellness and be on track and stay with it.
100%.
I'd rather give that a try.
Yeah.
For no matter what reason you wanted to start it, just because it's the new year. And
whatever excuse you need to get into that gym, give it to yourself. Get in that gym. 100%.
Whatever it needs to be. And whenever. I'm just going to be all about supporting that. So that's just my own take on it. So I think that'll be good coming up.
Yeah.
All right.
Sounds good.
First show of the year.
Hell yeah.
How's that? Is that all right?
I really enjoyed this.
Good.
It was a little, depressing at first with the whole.
Yeah, I had to end with something else, man, because I was just not feeling.
I'm so glad we ended with this.
Good. I'd rather talk about something that, this, and think about that. With all this crazy shit going on, this is something that people have that's under their control.
Yeah.
What are you going to do with your life? What are you going to do with your health? And we'll get into the testing for hormones and the steps people need to take and talk about those things. And, are they healthy or not? Myths about testosterone, the whole works. We'll get into it all. I think this is a good time to do that. And again, I think it's a good time that we need to spend more time focusing on ourselves and the things we can control than this outside bullshit that we can't do anything anyways. Obviously, we need to be aware, but part of that awareness is knowing our place and what our focus should be. Don't allow that shit to create anxiety in you, because then if you're worrying about shit you can't control.
Yep.
So
let it go.
You know what you can control today? Live in today. Are you at a safe place today? Are you at a place where you can do something positive in your life today? Can you go on a 20 to 30 minute walk today? That's what our focus is going to be.
Hell yeah.
Help people do better, be better.
Fuck yeah.
Maybe, I don't know.
We'll get a shirt somewhere in there.
I like that. Yeah. Do better, be better. I like that. All right, this is the Outlaw Apostle Podcast. I'm Troy Neff. I'm the fucking guy.
Whoa! Who knew I would make it this far? They hated, they never believe me. Yeah, I would never drop the ball. I know I make it look easy. Yeah. Mayweather with the defense. I don't care what a critic got to say. I got them picking up the pieces. That to me, you really playing with your life.